Hey.
Hey girl, what's going on?
Everything is Saturday.
Yeah, it is another Saturday, girl. What is going on with the weeks and the days passing us by?
This week, zip, zip, zip. This
Zip,
this
zip,
week
zip,
went
zip.
extremely fast. That's all I can say.
It's a
I
lot
think the more
going.
you put into the week, the faster the week goes. And
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
I know. It's just been one of those weeks, everything, and then just fast paced as it is.
Whew.
So we just find ourselves right back here on another show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Where is everybody?
I'm right
they're
here.
trying to spend their
I
last few
don't
summer
know.
days.
Where are you, Charlene?
I'm right here. You can't see me. I'm here, but those of
No,
us.
I don't know.
No, we don't. You have
We
to go back out and
we
come back
don't
in.
understand what's going on.
Well, whatever happens, happens. But we gotta let's see. Clicking, click, click.
So, and Peggy, she's out and at a conference, I believe, today, and we have our um, what is this education and mentoring today. So it's Charlene's day, so we need to see her.
You
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
see
There
them
she
here.
goes.
Okay.
Voila!
Okay. Few technical
Yay!
difficulties. We got you.
We got you.
Listen. First, the camera was black, and then I'm like, wait a minute. There's nothing wrong over here. I'm like literally looking at calendar here. Like, look, yeah. But hi, ladies. How are you doing? I heard the day was the day, and the day is still a day, and we're still here. And it's so
Yes.
much. It's so busy today. Like it's just a normal day. Like my son is about to go do cross country, then I'll run out there with him. Then have to go to Delaware, and I'm like, lots of things
What's
are
a
happening.
what's a mother to do?
Just do,
Yeah. Yeah.
just, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's
So
your week been?
how is he doing? Is he in his track and field? Our
Oh,
future Olympian.
I know. Well, this is their second. Yeah, this is their second race, I guess, or something like that. So I've never done field, so I'm like, I don't know. So it's actually his first year doing. He's more on the 200-meter inside track, but so we get to see this year and find out. But he's doing cross country. That's a lot of running.
Wow,
Okay.
really?
He's cross country. He wanted to do it. I was like, whoa. I don't know. It ain't for me, but it's for them. Hi, Gavin.
Pop, pop.
Well, good morning or good afternoon.
Well,
Good
Yeah.
good
afternoon.
morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies. How
Good
you doing, brother?
afternoon.
Welcome. We're happy you could join us.
I've been here waiting. I was in the wings, just enjoying the conversation. I
Okay.
was here waiting. I was here doing my due diligence. I was timely. I was timely.
I know that's
We were
right.
there. We were all there. Just the gremlins. We'll blame it on the gremlins. But
There it is. Let me get my
Right.
camera together. I'm looking a little shady here. This isn't good.
You look good.
You
Oh,
look good. No,
Yeah, but there we go.
he
Somebody
likes
was helping me.
perfect
Somebody.
light. Likes that perfect light. Okay.
I do. I'm looking for that balance. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for that balance.
Looking
But
for
I'll take it
balance.
for now. I'll take
we
it for
see
now.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you look
all good.
balanced now.
Whatever we're doing, we all look good today. It's a great day. It's a wonderful day. It's another God's day. Go ahead, Charlene. You've been looking like. What did she say? She looked like last week. She came walking
You
into
said
the
that
place.
looked like Lucille Ball because
Uh-huh.
Lucille Ball?
yeah,
Last week she had a bandana on her head
Oh
and
no,
yeah.
no,
That was
no,
Lucille. I like
Lucy,
that style.
Lucy.
it was Lucy.
Oh, yeah, Lucy was my girl. Lucy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. She was a Leo, Charlene.
Oh my God! No wonder she was hilarious and a comedian. That's
All
why
the
she didn't pay her husband no mind because he was type A, always like so tight up, and you're like us. We're like we're not. We are strong and we are kind of tight, but not
Absolutely.
hard that Ricky was. Ricky was like
Ricky was just practical. He wasn't tight. He was practical.
oh my God.
Practical.
He was no
Practical.
fun. He needed to loosen up, pull those
Practical.
down.
Practical. Everybody's application of practicality might be slightly different. Slightly
just a
different.
little bit
You
fun.
know, that is a man's point of view of this. All right.
Of course, I was listening to that, Lynn. Absolutely, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank
I
you, guys.
mean, what can you say? You know, what can you say?
we
We have our
We need
positions
that
as well.
opinion. We need
That's a
that.
whole topic in itself because we're talking
Yeah.
about couples today anyway.
Yes.
So this is the show for that. Because I want to know who's sleeping in separate beds now. Who do that? I mean,
What in the
this
world?
may be going
What in
on.
the
Hello?
world?
For real though.
Well,
No.
what if they're just sleeping in separate and still sleeping in the same bed, but there's like this big old long body pillow in between them? Like, is that not the same?
It is to me. It is to me. Like, what in the world? Thank you, Dante. Thank you.
Thank you, Dante.
Thank you.
That is hilarious. I mean,
Thank
I've
you.
been hearing the strangest things. Like, but if he snores, like there's a rule, like he has to go to what, the couch, or if she snores, I don't know.
What?
I had
No.
girlfriends that snore, and she,
Right. What in the
This is
world?
shame.
yeah, she had to go to the couch. It was just an agreement. Like we might not understand it, but they had that agreement that, hey, my boo snores, so we're gonna handle it from here.
But there's a lot of things you're saying in that, Charlene, that couples deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
All kinds of situations that when you start being in a real relationship, you find out they snore. You find out all their habits.
Yeah.
They talk and
Find
they
out all the
sleep.
things they like to do, they don't like to. They know what to do to get you.
Right.
But once they start letting their self down, you know, everything becomes relaxed, I believe. So I want to talk to the couples when they come. And you tell everybody what's to come on our show today because it's very it's gonna be good.
I think
Yeah.
it's worth staying on. I think it's worth you sharing this live out like right now, guys. If you don't know, we are on Four Sisters Live all together. Four Sisters Live. We're on YouTube also. So if you can't catch us on Facebook because you're on a Facebook diet, go right over to YouTube every Saturday at 12 and you will see us live there, right there. Also share. But anyway, today we're going to have, we're going to learn about this couples fest that happens every single year where couples come together to learn how to make their lives better, what kind of fun things are happening. You know, they talk about blended families. They talk about couples that are going through marriage counseling right now. They talk about couples that want to get together, but they're going through the marriage counseling, premarital counseling. And then we have a young lady on who's going to be talking to us about Africa with your spouse or significant other in Africa. Okay, taking your spouse to Africa. Like if you didn't like your spouse, you can literally plan this trip to leave them there.
Leave them there. Wait, hold it.
Like I'm
Pull the car over. Pull the car over. Hold it.
Sorry, they're behind there. Yeah, like if you don't, you know, if you're going to plan it, I'm like, don't
I
talk to me.
think you'll probably learn a new way to solve the problem when you go there.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
you have to learn how to survive. So anyway,
You're gonna learn it in a different, more traditional way, and I think that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing too. But anyway, so Renee Miller is with us. She's going to talk about the Love Camp in Africa. Cynthia and James Green, they're going to talk about couples, retreat festival that's happening this weekend. And then we also have the Brass Wells, who are the Brass Wellness, who are also couples coaches, marriage coaches that you really, really want to hear from and keep your marriage well. Also, all right, so cool. That's what's up.
Well, you know, I was listening on this week, a couple of days ago, on the news that there are people who are not eager to get married anymore.
Mm.
No, getting married is not, especially in our youth, in our generation that's living now. They're not like, I gotta hurry up and get married. I gotta hurry up and have a spouse.
Mm-hmm.
The dating thing is what's really going on, and I think we need to talk about the dating versus the marriage and how is that working for those of all colors across the board.
Right.
Because now there's being dictated to, you know, marriages. If the divorce, we didn't talk about the divorce rates, and they can give us some numbers today on divorce rates as it relates to how couples are coming together. Then we need to understand what is the priority and what is set before us. What is the way? Because we understand it's God's way, but everybody want to do things their way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a good conversation.
And I think also because if you don't have an example of that at home, you really doing it your way.
Right.
You know, you really need good examples, and so many of us don't have examples at home that they can actually mimic. So who do they mimic? Whoever looks good to them on TV, you know, in the news, whatever, you know. So yeah,
And then too, Linda, like you
problem.
said, I agree with you. If there has not been some sort of template that
Mm-hmm.
has laid the foundative elements of how a relationship is formulated, structured, built upon, growed, then yes, you go into these repeated unions that are already set upon a foundation of destruction. And all
Mm-hmm.
you do is continue to perpetuate that same cycle of destruction in relationship after relationship. So yeah, there's got to be some sort of template that should be set forth, and we don't see that. Not
Yep.
modeled in the media, not modeled in
Mm.
our own communities. So it is a challenge, a struggle that we are,
Yes.
daily trying to overcome for sure.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see it. I know people like, oh, because Cosby got these charges now, but that was one of our examples where the Cosby's. I'm like, oh, my husband definitely has to be an attorney because I'm going to be the doctor, right? So that was
Mhm.
my thing. I was like, and I had a great example in my home. My parents were together for 30-some years before my father passed away, and again, just because my parents were a great example, they were together. He didn't hit her. They were good. She still was a strong woman. They were respectful to one another. So I love how my father provided for my mom, regardless of her strong head. Okay. He was still there, but he was strong too. He said what he had to say, but I never heard them curse or fight, all that. But I saw
Mhm.
that if my mom didn't want to work, she didn't have to work. But Barbara Jean was not going to play that. She was going to work and eat and play and shop, okay? But I'm okay with either way. But they worked together. I saw what teamwork looked like and
Mhm.
what love and respect looked like. So I had the example. Oh, I'm divorced, and although some of my sisters are, we still had a good example. So, and to me, that was, I held on to that. So yeah, so I guess talk about what changes when you do get that template.
Yeah,
Also,
I was
Mhm.
going to say,
you
just because we have um, what we define or what we classify as being good examples doesn't mean that when you are released to the world that you have the tools in your wheelhouse or the skill set that is needed to ensure the stability and consistency of a functional, productive relationship, because you still go out into the world a person that is missing key things because you haven't lived long enough. You still need to mature a little bit. You still need to learn about fiscal responsibility and all of that good stuff. And so you go into the world with all of these question marks dangling over your head on how to survive, and then you have the unmitigated audacity to run into love, and that changes the dynamic because you've got all these emotions and feelings and thoughts, and so you are relying on a template or marker that may not apply to you and that particular individual that you are engaged to in terms of this commitment and this relationship or union or whatever you define it as. And you go into this relationship with this facade of what you think it's supposed to be, and then you, like you said earlier, you wake up the next morning, this person had drooled all over the pillow, or they didn't snore, or they got bad housekeeping, clean, he don't cook, she don't cook, we don't take the trash
Ooh.
out, we arguing about this, that, and the fourth. You have
It
all of these
becomes a whole
disconceived,
different dynamic
a
in
whole
a
nother beast,
relationship, in a marriage, period.
a whole
And
nother
these are
beast.
the things, as we get to talk to them today, I think should be shared, because we talk about patience, we have to talk about kindness, we
Yeah.
have to talk about the joy, we have to talk about the love,
Yeah.
all of that which should represent, as God has set before us, patience, kindness,
And then too, we have to
love,
talk about forgiveness.
and
What does that mean?
forgiveness.
How does that
Yes.
play into
Yes.
the
yeah,
Yes.
construct of
That's
that
a big
dynamic?
part of
yeah,
forgiveness because you got to move on.
Yeah, you
yeah.
have to
What
be able to.
on, you got to practice this. That forgiveness is love, and unforgiveness to me is like this bitterness and hate, and it can really hurt you to the point of causing you health issues and mental issues. I do talk about that
Yes.
a lot, and I've make sure that I overcome that. And again, your mindset about what marriage looks like to you, because just because we all been married or been in a bad relationship, it's still up to you to make a decision. What's my part in this? You know, what would I like my dream wife to look like? Not so much that you're like, oh, she got to be a Barbie doll tall, or he has to be Ken looking. No, ideally, I'm gonna have to grow old with you, whether you're super good looking or smart or whatever. Is the point that what's working for Charlene? Like, what's going to work for both of us? I'm mature enough to handle, you know, your weakness, because I still believe in the Bible. He said, when you're weak, you know, I am strong, and where I'm strong, you're weak. And that's how I deal with my relationship. I don't care if he's not an entrepreneur and I'm such an entrepreneur and corporate girl, and he's just strictly government, you know, like, I don't care. Like, we take those weaknesses and it's like, what do I like about you? You know, like.
But I think you said a key word, Charlene. I think you said the word to me that really puts it in perspective, at least for me anyway, especially as a male, that you must be open to the idea that in any given relationship, there's got to be a level of growth, and growth for every individual matriculates differently. It may not come along the same way that you got it, or the way that it comes in stages for people. So you may start out liking and loving this person because they do all of these fabulous things, or they bring all this great stuff to you, but their ability to grow and matriculate along your ideology or your ideal scale of how you think they should be, or it may be completely different from them. You know what I mean? They may hear a conversation one way, but because of their upbringing or whatever trauma that they have experienced, their ability to interpret that information and grow from it is different. Is different. So you got to be willing to accept that. And even in forgiveness, understand that forgiveness comes in stages. It's not just like you forgive and walk away like everything is gone. No, ma'am. No, sir. You have to put a personal effort into walking out that idea of forgiveness on whatever level it is, good, bad, or indifferent. And you have to be willing to put some sort of definition on how you apply that practically.
So we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about.
Go on, Wyoming.
This conversation is going to be juicy. It's going to be hot. We're going to get the people in that's going to help us navigate this whole conversation. Charlene, I can't wait. I hope. Look, but what's coming? I know we got some other business. I know we had to talk about, like, what's coming up, what's happening in the community. Like, we got the birthdays. Let's do the birthday thing, Charlene. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday. Anybody celebrating a birthday? Look,
for the month of September.
Dante's birthday.
If you're saying September, put my name in the batch. Put my name in the batch. Put my name in the batch.
Gavin's birthday is coming up. When is your birthday, Gavin?
The 23rd. Can I say it again? The 23rd. Say it one more time for those who are maybe hearing impaired. The 23rd.
Well,
okay, and 3 days before that is Dante's. The 20th.
Dante's birthday. What day? Our production manager. When is his birthday?
The 20th.
Yay, Dante, happy birthday.
All gifts and cards can be sent to the email address.
My mother's birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Mommy, she's on here. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Virgo season.
Virgo Libra. Libra. I'm on the cusp. I'm on the cusp.
You're a Virgo Libra. Yeah, my oldest sister is a Virgo, September the 15th. So yeah.
My wife says that's why I'm twice as crazy.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. You're not blowing your horn. Where's your horn, girl? You're missing the plug.
Uh-oh, here you go. Celebrate.
So what's going on in our community, Charlene? What you know, go. Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, wait a minute. We had another birthday. I forgot our historic birthday.
Okay.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I saw him last night. B.B. King, Blues Brothers. Yeah, B.B. King's birthday is on the 16th of this month. What? He was
Where did you see B.B. King?
Oh, he was on PBS last night.
Clear that up.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Wait a minute, you better bring him over today, girl. I'm just kidding. Okay, so
That would be a good interview.
so
That
funny.
would be a
Yes.
good interview.
Gavin, I
Yes.
thought about what you was talking about this morning. You say the song "Hello,
Yeah.
Good Morning." I think that's Kanye West.
That is.
Okay.
That is.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
hello, good
Him and
morning.
Andre
Yep,
Hayes were
good
on there
morning.
that night. And also Jesse Owens, track star and track and field.
Oh,
Yes,
He
he
was
is.
born on the 12th and of
He's a
this month in
September baby.
1913. So don't forget to
Wow.
tell Noel that, okay?
I will let him know. Yes.
Let him know.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
we
So
Jesse
that's
Owens.
it for our birthdays.
community. Let's go with the community, guys. I know that today, shout out to Florence Champagne, who just had a 5K run. It was a benefit charity for Open My Heart Foundation. So shout out to her, and our very own sister and our founder, the Peggy Morris, is out there supporting.
Hey,
So,
Miss Peg.
support those
Peggy.
causes. We need those causes to be
I'm
supported.
walking as we speak. I signed up and my feet are moving up and down and I am walking.
I am walking in spirit. That's
I
what I'm
am
walking in. I'm walking in spirit.
I have my yeah.
Today in DC on 8th Street, we do have
Woo!
Hey, the H Street
Yeah.
Festival. Those
That's
are always
my
fun.
festival.
Go.
Yeah.
Yes, it's happening. But guess who else is going to be there? Oh my God. There.
Breeze.
There it
Breeze
is.
Light.
On a side of mumbo sauce.
All right.
Going to be in the house, honey. They were invited to be in the house on 8th Street Festival this
Yes.
Saturday at 2:30 p.m.
They will be performing on the big stage, guys.
The big
Oh,
stage.
wow.
Oh
Hey,
wow!
they doing a little
At
snippet.
2:30. So you all heard and finish the show. You know I live right down the street from H Street, and I cannot wait.
All right. What else is coming up here?
Woo-hoo.
Wow, you'll have to bring us some video.
All right. Here's the
Eventually.
the Bi County is having a meeting, guys. You should be there. Here we are with Brooke Limerick. It's going to happen this Monday, September the 19th, at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. They always have the best breakfast. So I just go for the breakfast and the dinners. And everybody else, only talk to one person, and I'm out because I've eaten enough. Okay. All right. So next, domestic violence. This is
Yeah,
Well,
that's coming up on the 1st. That kicks
October
off
1st.
Domestic
Wow.
Violence Awareness Month. On that day, there will be a benefit that is going to go to our domestic violence committees and going to be sponsored in by Sisters for Sisters Network. And wow, that's it. That's the product. When you put that this product on your car, this is why they're going to present this, because it's a product that makes your car look exactly like it's new out the shop, at the showcase.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how powerful their product is.
It's a one-stop
So they're
shop
going
in
to
that
be
product.
sponsoring us as it relates to domestic violence. So please come out, guys. It's going to be Saturday, October the 1st from 8 to 2 p.m. And so just get the information here, copy it down, snap it, because it's going to be awesome on that day. So yeah,
Wow.
help us kick it off.
Looking forward to it.
all right. Oh wow, this is
Hey.
here. Oh my God, I will be there all day long. Oh, giving out money. Well, not me giving out money, but there will
I
be
was going to say, hold on. Tell me the address, Charlene. Tell me where you're at. Let me stop by there.
But this is going to be in the Highland Park Church, the First Baptist Church of Highland Park. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, that's going to be at 6801 Sheriff Road, Landover, Maryland. Come bring your senior high schoolers. Okay, they have money for you. Over 30 colleges will be represented. Even the U.S. Army will be there giving away money. We gave away so much money last year. Let's say 15 million to be exact. So bring your resume, bring your SAT scores. Oh God, bring it all. Seniors, do not be afraid to show up and share who you are to these wonderful colleges. Some people get full rides. So be there.
Wow.
They
Hey.
do. And when they say free scholarship,
It's
they
free
really mean it's free.
Mhm.
It's absolutely. Charlene, I was amazed about that, because education is key to our society, to our future. So yeah, that's an awesome thing. Absolutely. Go ahead, Dante. I see there's the Mind Merging Summit that's brought to you by one of our Sister for Sisters network. Lori Salles is her 3rd year going into this Mind Merging Summit. And so it's an awesome opportunity for us to, as women as well as the men, to know what's going on, what makes you tick, where are you in your future, where are you going, how are you built, and it relates to even marriages. So we talk about domestic violence even on this platform. I'll be one of the platform presenters on that day, which will be Saturday, October the 15th. So more information to come on that, but definitely put that on your calendar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Is that it
If
on
that's
the community?
well,
I
let's,
believe that's it.
that's it for the community, but let's bring the community to us, guys, and let's get this show on the road. Up next is the actual creator of the Love, Mrs. Renee Miller. Mrs. Renee Miller is known for connecting the community and working with people who are having those intimate conversations or communication issues and helping them to actually say what they need to say. Let's work together. So again, he is the CEO, founder. Remember Who You Are Enterprises, Black Matter panel discussions, and the Elements of the Love series. And she resides here in Western Maryland. So Renee Miller.
Renee, hi.
There you go.
Hi, Renee.
Hi.
Welcome.
All right, for the love.
Oh,
camp.
listen, Renee, did you hear us in the background? Because we were all ready. Gavin got some, I know he got some questions. Lord Jesus.
I gotta be the one to have questions. I was taking in the information too.
Honey.
See how you put me out there on Front Street, Charlene. See how you do me. See how you do me.
I felt like there was this, you know, hey.
That might have been indigestion. That wasn't me. That was indigestion. That was breakfast. That ain't had nothing to do with me.
Renee, so we're married, and some of us are desiring to be married, and we want to learn how to have better communication skills with our loved ones, right? These love people. But I think you talk about how to get them to communicate and other things. Would you like to share how to get them to be vulnerable? Yes.
My
She said,
favorite. Yes. I love it. And you know what? First, thank you for having me on. I love the topic that you guys are talking about today. I could talk about it all day long. And I took some nuggets of things that I thought were just good to remember as a whole. You know, you guys were really also sharing some great things for us to think about. So this is great. This is great.
Well, tell us about a little bit about the project that you're working on right now, called the Love Camp. And why did you create this? And why are you taking people to Africa all the way, couples to Africa at that? Are you crazy? I'm just kidding. But talk to us about the Love.
Absolutely. So the Love Camp is an invitation to shift for your love journey. And what I mean by that is it's an opportunity to really get educated on best practices, be inspired. You know, a lot of us are either in relationships, want to be in relationships, but we still need that inspiration. So it's an invitation to really be inspired towards what does healthy love look like? And how do we get from where we want to be, where we are to where we want to be? And so the Love Camp is a way to do that via retreats where we go to beautiful places where the vibration is high and we get a chance to really connect and do the work while having these wonderful excursions. And so the first one that we have coming up is the Love Camp Tanzania. We are going to Tanzania where we will be traveling to 3 different regions in Tanzania, including Zanzibar, which has beautiful beaches and
that's right.
Sunsets and just amazing.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've always been excited about love, even when I think about my teens. And I feel like, you know, love was something that people weren't always proud to embrace. I see it more and more in our communities where we don't always want to embrace love because either we've had bad experiences about it or somehow we relate to it. Vulnerability as being weak in some ways. And so for me, this is a way for us to really have healthy, connected love. And I've been doing different things in the communities around love conversation. However, this specific project is a collaboration with Tide Tours. So I was on my way coming back from Tanzania last October, and the founder of Tide Tours, myself and Kim Poole, we were talking. And we just happened to be talking about how we wish there was more love in our communities and more healthy love. And for more specific, we were thinking about African American women, because I know quite a few women that struggle with finding love. Sometimes there's notions that we don't want love, or we don't need love, or we're so career minded that love is not something we prioritize, and all of these things. And the more we talked on that flight, the more we realized that we wanted to contribute to our community. And in our own ways, we have been doing different projects. And I knew that I wanted to, as a coach of over a decade, I knew that I wanted to coach more women on this topic because I had been doing so. Long story short, by the time that flight was over, we had built the agenda, the objectives.
Wow.
Targeted when we
Awesome.
do it. And so the Love Camp was created out of true community service, truly wanting to see more love in our communities. So it not just be about an individual or a couple, but it really be about the community as a whole.
So Renee, how many couples, if I may ask, do you normally or have been a part of this Love Camp?
So this is the inaugural one. So literally, this is our first one that we plan to have every year. And we also we'll have mini ones. So just in case people are not able to get away for 10 to 12 fabulous days, which I'm encouraging, we will have smaller ones coming up in the spring and in the fall. So this is our very first one.
I want to know why in Tanzania. I just come back from Ghana. I want to know, why should I be on my way to Tanzania? Because sounds like a wonderful place.
Oh, it is. So, Tanzania. So one of the things I like about Tide Tours is they have relationships all over the continent. And I wanted to team up with someone. I wanted my brand and to team up with a brand that's very familiar with the continent. And so Tanzania, we think is a great opportunity for the first one because of all of the things that are there. Tanzania is a beautiful place. Not only are the people beautiful, but some of the experiences we had, we wanted to give that in the name of love. For example, we're going to be hiking up a waterfall in Mount Kilimanjaro. I mean,
wow.
And it's going to correlate to the love journey. So the actual experience they're going to have hiking, we're going to actually have activities that correlate to the love journey. Additionally, we were able to go connect with the Maasai people. We were able to see how they lived and what were their relationships like, glean in on their community and family structure. We also had a beautiful backdrop where we had dinner in the ocean. And so that alone is romantic.
Ooh, wow.
You imagine
that sounds
on the
beautiful.
ocean, right? And you're looking out and all you see is ocean and you're having dinner. So we just felt like Tanzania would create the ambiance and the environment that we're looking for to really do the work around love while having amazing excursions.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I wouldn't be surprised, guys.
I'm ready to go.
I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if people do their wedding vows again on this trip.
Yeah.
That has been prophesized quite a bit, actually. And people have said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Love Camp creates so many marriages, because we really do want to create healthy love. And we talk about the topics that, oftentimes we either don't know how to talk about or don't have the solution for. So we really dig into best practices and best practices that are for this time. A lot has changed since our parents' time. There's a lot we can glean from and use, because there are some staples that I love. But I also think we need to have the conversation around how have things changed and how do we not keep up, but how do we pivot and adjust so we can truly have healthy love and have those real conversations.
So I wanted to say very quickly that I have so much respect for the goal and the camp itself. I think that's
Thank you.
admirable. And I think it's more so of what we need, especially in our communities when it comes to relationship building. And
Mhm.
we said earlier, talking about the construct of Black love, it over the years has been dismantled, I'll say, not only in our own communities, but certainly on screen and in the media. We see so much violence and destruction. But where are the couples coming from now? Because it seems like the younger generation doesn't want to put in the sweat equity or the time that it takes to get to know not only themselves, but someone that they potentially might be interested in, forgetting that this is a lifetime journey, a lifetime commitment. Microwave marriages do not exist and neither do they last long. So when we're talking about coming together for unions, marriages, and relationships, where are we at now when we're walking into these relationships? Because they just seem to happen overnight, and then the next thing we've got divorce rates up, and all kinds of crazy stuff. So where are we now?
So I would definitely say we are in a place of a little bit of confusion where we're in competition with a lot of mainstream media. We're in competition with what we see on the TV as the way to be in relationships. So I think we have to educate even the younger generation because we're always competing in some ways with what they see versus what is the proper way to show up. And
Right.
that's again, one of our participants that's coming, she asked me to do a focus specifically for her group. She's a millennial. And
Ah,
she said, we don't know how to connect like we need to because we live in an era where text and technology has gotten us so far removed from real intimacy and real connection.
that's what I was looking for you to say.
And yeah, and so we're even doing things like that. Like we have 1-day intensives that we're building so that people can talk about what does vulnerability look like and what is it and when is it healthy. We're going to talk about boundaries. We're also going to talk about, like she said specifically, like we don't know how to disconnect from each other. So
Yeah.
she said we ghost each other.
Right.
It's unhealthy.
I think one of the other things too
Yeah.
that I found really interesting. I recently purchased a book just from my own insight and for my own building, "The Ties That Bind" by Brian Holmes. Being able to identify and break unhealthy soul ties,
Mm.
where you have previously been in relationships that have left you with residue, leftovers, brokenness from different types of trauma and experiences, and how we carry those traumas and experiences or unhealthy habits into the newness of what we believe is going to be our next relationship, and what that does to the deconstruction of that new construct. Does that make sense? Everybody follow that? How we
Yeah.
take that baggage into that new relationship, and we have been so scarred or so angered or so frustrated by whatever previously happened that in this new build, we
Mhm.
basically go in dirtied up, muddied up, emotionally torn apart, and not able to receive what this individual is,
Well,
trying to offer.
Gavin, that's why counseling is so important. And I think when
Absolutely.
we bring our guest on, the next guest for the company, they can also, elaborate on how important counseling is prior to just jumping in to a
Mhm.
relationship that you may still need to know what that roadmap is going to be for you when you get into it. So it's so much preparation, you know what I mean?
Ooh, so much preparation.
Yeah.
Renee, thank you so much for being here because you again you just trigger some more thoughts and things, but you're doing the fun stuff, but it's the hard stuff. But the couple that we're going to bring up next is going to be Cynthia and James and the Braswells. They're actually having something called the Couples Fest that's happening at the end of next week, next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But Renee, I want to thank you. Y'all put up that flyer again because if
Thank
you
you, Renee.
go to
You're welcome.
the event, I want you here it is. It's October the 3rd through the 13th. That's a 10-day trip.
Yes.
Follow up with her, snap a picture of this, and get with Renee Miller. I'm telling you, she is with some of my dear friends that do some amazing trips in Africa. So Renee, you will come back before then. Well, you'll come back and talk to us and bring us many pictures, right? So we want to
Absolutely.
And Charlene, before she leaves, can you just say what the website is in case
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
What is your website?
Absolutely. www.thelovecamp.co.
One more time.
.co, and they can send a contact to me and I will reach back out to them within 48 hours.
Say it one more time, because sometimes we got to make sure we lock that in. One more time.
www.thelovecamp.co, not com, co.
Okay.
Great. See? Thank you for repeating that. Thank you so much, Renee. Have a great one.
Thank
you, Renee.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Saturday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was so amazing. That is so amazing.
Yes.
Great
info.
We're going to bring
Who knew? Tanzania. All right.
Cynthia Green and the Braswells as we carry out this and talk about this festival where you can get all in one. It is a conference or a festival that is encompassed with everything that you're going to need, whether you're single or married, to keep the love alive. So you may even get to see Renee back over there promoting her very own love camp. So Cynthia Green and the Braswells. Oh, amazing. I was like, bring my baby. What's going
Hey,
on?
everyone.
Hey, guys.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, good afternoon now.
Good afternoon.
Hey.
Glad James came on. I was like, I'm saying Cynthia name, but James better be on here. Okay, I'm just being nice, okay? My brother on, Eric, yes, okay. So Cynthia. So listen, guys, thank y'all for being here. One of the greatest festivals in the world is going to be happening on next week. That is on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I want to just introduce you to Cynthia and James Green, who are the founders of, yes, I want to say Black Love Matters, but then that would be like, anyway, they do another a festival like that. But they are the inventors of the Couples Fest. Okay? And I just want you to tell them a little bit about this particular festival, and then I want you to also introduce the Braswells and how they're playing a part in this fest.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello.
Good afternoon. Good
Hey
afternoon.
to my sisters. I am a proud member of Sister for Sisters Network Incorporated. Yeah. So I'm excited to be here. With my amazing hubby. Y'all, we're still sleepy. Like, we got up at 7 this morning. So we just got back from Hawaii yesterday. So for us, it was 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Now we're sleepy. So
Wonderful.
hubby just woke up to get on here. But you guys, we're excited about Couples Fest coming up. It's our 6th annual Couples Fest. Every year we take it to a different location. We're putting it on the road too, you guys. Everybody's reaching out saying, why can't you come to North Carolina? Why can't you come to California? Why can't you come here? So we're going to try to put it on the road next year, but it's our 6th annual, and it's a 3-part event this year. 3-part event. And this year is for the first time we're offering a la carte. So you can come Friday nights if you want to come out and just have fun with your boo. We've got massages going on. We have a massage company there doing actual massages and going to teach the couples how to massage their mates.
All right.
Hand dancers that will be there that will show us how to do some hand dancing routines.
Oh, there it is. That 2-step. There it is.
There you go. So we'll be dancing. Yeah, we got the DJ. We got music. We're going to have all types of games that couples can play. There you go. That's Eric, y'all.
Dante.
And we're going to have all kinds of games. But the key to the games is that it teaches couples how to work together, how to interact together. It teaches them some new skills and helps them to work on some skills that they need to work on and gain some new skills. So we're going to do a lot of skill building activities. We're going to have like a couples contest. Like, you don't have to come dressed alike, but we're going to have the couple who looks the most alike at the contest there. And we have great prizes and giveaways that we'll be doing. And then Saturday, we'll be doing our show, Pillow Talk Lounge with the Greens live. And everyone will get to have breakfast with us that morning. We'll have our Speaker Fest that afternoon. And this year, for the very first time, you guys, James and I gave away a free wedding. So we will be having a real live wedding at Couples Fest.
Let me find out you and James over there rich. Got it going on. Got the bag, got the money, honey.
We're rich in spirit.
Mhm. Yeah, okay. I get that part. I got that part already. You've been like that already. I'm talking about the Monday, honey. Y'all
You seem to be doing it.
You know what? Seriously, Wyoming, everything for the wedding has been donated.
Wow.
From the space to the food to the decorations, the photographer, the DJ, the videographer. Everything has been the wedding rings, the honeymoon.
Wow.
Bridal suite. We have corporate sponsors with the Hilton Garden Inn, corporate sponsor with Men's Warehouse, donated all 7 tuxedos. Like, we have been blessed with serious sponsors this year.
That is a blessing.
That is.
You know how much people spend in trying to do a wedding alone by themselves?
Yes.
That's
right.
almost $100,000 package right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome, guys.
So and that helps, and that will help the wedding to the couple's life start really, really good. That's a good start with no debt on the wedding.
There you go. I was getting ready to say they can concentrate on getting into their home.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a great start.
They are so grateful, so grateful.
Yes.
And then on Sunday, the big day, we launched our 3rd book called Couples Determined to Make Marriage Great. So we'll have our book launch party on Sunday, which the Braswells are part of authors in that book. So we're just excited. There's a lot going on this coming weekend.
That's exciting.
Great.
All right.
So the Braswells, what do you all do? I mean, y'all just coupled up, and which is a wonderful thing. Couples coming together to work together. That's a great.
We thought the project, when Cynthia told me about the project, I had, as we all do, we have so much going on in our lives, right? They're all the things that we see that God has given us vision for. But it's funny, I have a coach. Any coach that comes to you that don't have a coach themselves, you better be careful. But my coach told me the things that you do in this season align with your vision. And so when Cynthia came to me with this opportunity to be a part of the anthology, I knew I had to do it. I knew we had to do it. I brought it to Eric, and he was excited about it. But we're really, really excited to be a part of Couples Fest. This will be our first Couples Fest. The book project was amazing. I mean, we explored things about our business, our structure, James and Cynthia are incredible visionaries. And so we're just delighted to be a part of it, to expand the work that we do with couples on a daily basis.
That sounds awesome. And it's the 6th annual Couple Fest. So where's the information, people that can, may not be able to read the flyer? Can any of you tell us where they can go on a website to actually get the information?
Yes, go to couplesfestexpo.com. That's couplesfestexpo.com.
Great. Well, I want to get into the meaty of it all before we, get this segment over with. Let's talk shop here as couples. What is it that you all can share as nuggets to couples, young couples, those who are just getting married, or those who would desire to get married? What kind of tools and information you all want to have us to take away today?
Well, go ahead.
Don't everybody speak at one time, because I know
I did want to make a comment to what you guys were talking about earlier. Everyone talks about the divorce rate. The divorce rate is in the 40s. So that means the marriage rates are in the 60s. So we like to talk about the couples who are staying married. There's a lot of couples who are staying married. Everybody's not getting a divorce. So there's about 44% of couples getting divorced, but a lot of us are staying married. And that's why we wrote our book. Our book, Couples Determined to Make Marriage Great, tells you exactly all the things that we did to make sure. We have 15 couples in the book sharing how they stayed married and what they do to keep their marriage great. That's what Couples Fest is all about too. Make marriage great, how to make your marriage great. So we'll let the Braswells share a little bit about their story and how they make their marriage great.
Well, I'm gonna let Eric go first on that one.
Well, one of the things I believe that's very important in making your marriage great is keeping the vision for your marriage at a loving connection needs to be the vision for your marriage.
Mm.
So when we say a loving connection, it means loving that person or connecting with that person in such a way where they actually feel loved. Well, we're loving them the way they want to be loved. And so what that means is what you value, I value. What you care about, I care about. What you're interested in, I'm interested in.
Mm.
And so when we make the loving connection a goal or the vision of our marriage, this means what happens is that we automatically walk with an awareness of what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do, and how I'm going to fix my mess ups and mistakes.
Mm-hmm. There will be mistakes. There will be mistakes. There was so much good conversation before we jumped in here. I was like, oh, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. We were talking about forgiveness. We were talking about just the love culture. That's one of the things that stood out to me is that each of us on the screen come from a different love culture. If I go into a relationship with Eric and I don't consider that he was raised differently from me, he was raised in a different household. Maybe they never said, I love you in his household. And in my household, they said it all the time. And so it's an expectation. If we don't get to know each other's love culture, and what does that mean? What did they do in their home as a child? What is culturally acceptable? Even though we are all brown people on this screen, what we did in our homes is different. My background is Latino and West Indian, Caribbean, right? And so there's a different way that I was raised and how he was in his background as an American, African-American child. So we have to consider those things because they go against each other. And so we're not proactive. I love what my sister, and it's Wyoming, right, was saying earlier about just paying attention, right, to what is going on. You can't hide it. You can't push it under a rug. You have to be proactive about it. And I think a lot of couples, and Gavin spoke to the skill building. Certainly, Charlene, you know, your family was had 37 years married before your father passed away, right? And you're like, okay, I got the best models in front of me. But did they teach us skills? Did they say how you communicate? Did they tell you, okay, it's okay to ignore some things. You don't have to jump on top of everything. Respect and honor is actually a thing. So there's so many different skills that we take for granted that we know. Going into marriage, we think everyone knows what we know, and we don't. So if we don't pull back and set some time aside to invest in the very thing, the very first institution that God made was marriage. Before he made anything else, he made marriage and family, right?
Go ahead, Placida.
And we put it in the back burner. We think, okay, I'm gonna give it my leftovers. No. You make it your primary. You go, if you go according to the order of God, you can't fail. And then you get godly counsel in your space, and your marriage will be more secure than ever.
You know, I'm glad she said that, because it really is important for you to seek out and continue to share information like the Couples Fest to people, because people don't know that they skills. See, we know we need personal development skills, so we join John Maxwell and we go find Tony Robbins. But many people don't understand to build your longer and stronger, like the Greens are doing. They're not trying to do, are doing and sharing. We need to be disciples of marriages, right? Of the marriage family, and say, I had to get these skills. You know, I had to seek out a Cynthia. I had to seek out, at my pastor's church and say, well, how do I be a better wife? So I definitely agree with the Braswells on their concepts of just getting the skills you need to have a better marriage and keep working on it. It's so critical, important. But there are some people that do not believe, and they're not religious. They're atheists, but they do want better marriages and they do want better relationships. So
I'd love to speak to that.
Yeah, who's talking to them? because many of us are believers, but who's talking to the atheists and, oh, I'm not into this Christian thing, but they want to stay married? Are we fighting for the world to stay married as well? And what God, believes.
I have a really beautiful story about that. They weren't necessarily atheists, but they weren't practicing any faith.
Mhm.
So we believe that, I think it's Mother Teresa that says that, preach the gospel at all times, but when necessary, use words, right? So your life should preach the gospel. It's not necessary to bang somebody over the head with the Bible. So we counsel couples from every diverse background. So we can, if you're a person of faith and you are a Christian, we can bring prayer and all those things into your sessions. But you know what I find? Most people end up wanting the prayer. We ask them, we ask permission to pray. They don't want it, we don't do it. Right. But we still can meet them right where they are. And by love, see, we were talking, I love what Renee, she glows. Renee glows on the screen. There is just there's a beauty that just emanates, just like you sisters. You glow with love, but that's love received. Yeah. We've received love. Too often, we are actually defining love how the world does. But love is actually defined. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love doesn't think so highly of itself. Love does not keep a record of wrongs. When we sit down with couples of any faith and we ask them, how are you doing in the love department? How are you doing? Not your partner. Right. How are you doing? Are you kind? Are you gentle? Do you bring things up from the past? We ask them how they're doing, because the focus needs to be on you first, how you show up in your relationship. You have the ability to change the atmosphere of your household, the ambiance. Yeah. The sanctuary that you call home.
So I'll ask this question within a minute we have left with you guys. What is important and how often should one couple want to go and seek counseling? Is there a time? Positions on that?
If possible. I think it should be voluntary. I think it should be often. So there was a study that was done by Dr. John Gottman, and in his research, he found that the average couple waits 6 years before they seek counseling or any type of help. 6 years, a lot of damage can happen in 6 years.
Yeah.
Good. The Greens, do you want to answer that?
He's absolutely right. I actually read it was 7 years before couples seek counseling. So many people wait until they've dug the ditch so deep, and then they go try to get help, and they're at this place where they're just, battling one another, and you got to break down those barriers. But the key is that they have to want the help. Both of them have to want the help, and they have to just take. Go ahead, James.
See, I was going to say, because you know how I guess we're all a little older, and we were probably brought up with whatever happens in the house stays in the house. You don't go tell nobody's your personal business. That's how a lot of people were raised. Like, I'm not going to tell a stranger all of my business, but now there's more tools that are available. And we always say it's better to be proactive than reactive, because when you're proactive, you can always fight off the enemy, fight off the devil, which is coming ahead of time, instead of reactive. When you're reactive, it might be a little too late then. The devil's already in your camp.
That's right.
That's true.
It sounds like a trust issue here.
Right.
Yes.
Plus, we always say that a lot of times where couples will just wait until that time. You know what I'm saying? Because we always say that when you get married, people pay to get married. They'll pay for the venue, they'll pay for the dress, they'll pay for the food, they'll pay for everything. People pay to get divorced, whether it's alimony, whether it's child support, whether it's selling the home, breaking the finances. But people never pay on how to learn to be married. They'll pay to get married, they'll pay to get divorced, but they never pay how to learn to be married, how to learn what it really takes to have a great marriage, how to build a marriage. Plus, we always say you should start off by focusing on the two of you. Because when you stand before that pastor, that reverend, that preacher, the courthouse, whatever it may be, you say, I do. Now your focus is usually, what do I have to do to build this marriage? What do I have to do to make this marriage great? And when we counsel couples, you hear one party always says, I did everything I could. I tried as hard as I could. I don't know what more I need to do. It's I. Have you ever thought about the we? Focus on what we have to do.
right.
How can we build our marriage? How can we make it
All
work?
right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. The I in the middle of pride is exactly where that individual is.
Wow, this is a
Exactly.
good conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Linda, and I know Peg is out there hanging out the water. Okay, we're so jealous right now. But anyway, guys, it has been an amazing show. Cynthia, thank you.
Amazing. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
James,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
the brass
you.
girls. Guys, join us at Couples Fest next week. If you haven't gotten your ticket, guys, put up that website for the Couples Fest. Guys.
Can I give away a free gift to your community before we go?
Yes. Yes.
So we have a journal that we'd love to give to anyone listening. It is called the Blame and Shame Journal, because as you know, that those are the two things that bring couples a lot of crisis in their marriage. And so you can find that at brazwellness.com/shame. Braz,
One more time.
right now it's available for you right now.
No.
I'm sorry.
What is the website again they need to go to?
Oh, one more time. Braz Wellness, BRASWELLNESS.com.
And we want to give a free
/shame.
ticket. I'm sorry. And we
All right,
want to
go
give
ahead,
a free ticket to Couples Fest. So the first person to send us the email to info@marriagebuilttolast.com. That's the number 2. We're going to give you a free ticket to Couples Fest.
Wow.
At marriagebuilttolast.com. And I just posted it in the feed.
The chat. Good. Great.
Okay.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
That was amazing.
And congratulations to both of you two beautiful couples.
Thank you, Miss
Thank
y'all.
You.
Thank you so much.
Bye
God
bye.
bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Woo! Time
It just flies
just flies away, but we
when
having
you're having fun, of course.
we're
Yeah.
having fun. It's all good, Charlene. This is great. This is part of education.
Yeah, this
Awesome, Charlene. Awesome show.
educated on this stuff because we wanted to last, but this is just our way to give back to the community. And like I said, everyone is not where we are, maybe where we are religiously, but there are people that think like we think, and they want their marriages to last. And so,
Absolutely.
what a great segment!
What a great segment. But next week we got a great show. It's going to be our entrepreneurship segment, head up by our leader Peggy Morris. So tune in again next week. I think we have a great guest who's Linda Clemens.
Linda Clemens.
You don't want to miss Linda
And you
Clemens.
don't want to miss this show next
No,
week.
you
guys.
don't
I
want to
promise
miss
you.
her.
Yeah. But in the meantime, what time is it?
It's time for you
to
walk
walk in your
in
purpose
your purpose and
and
prosper.
prosperity. Thank you all for joining. We out. See you next week. Bye bye.
See ya.